Up, I'm live, and it's a Monday. Oh joy! Oh, Monday is closer to ending than not, at least, so that's nice. And because it's closer to ending than not, that means it's time for me to play games. And by play games, I mean play Derail Valley in basically the same way I have been as of late. I'm not trying to do the same damn thing week in and week out. The problem is, the game isn't giving me reason to do something different, or reason enough. I've got like $750,000 in licenses left, plus another like 400,000 to 500,000 in vehicle repairs and restorations. Even more if I want to paint everything that I've got. So, I need the money. I need the money. And I'm going where the money is. Which just so happens to be back and forth between Harbor and Machine Factory. I mean, I say that. To be fair, there's multiple stops along the way. But, yeah. I guess I can switch over to the game scene at this point, because I actually launched the game fairly quickly this time, so we can just kind of jump straight into it. Green. Yeah, there were two different routes I was considering, or I guess technically three, but one was just a variation of another. Take the normal route that I have been, going towards City West and then up to Machine Factory. Or do something different and go up to Military Base, which I still haven't been to yet, via Goods Factory and maybe Steel Mill? The problem is, there wasn't really anything super great going to Mill Base. There were some logistical halls and 4 attack helicopters? Which, don't get me wrong, that's still like $150,000 to $200,000 by itself. The problem is, it's not enough. Also, there sure is a lot of flickering in the distance. I don't know what that's about. Noisy chair. The alternative... You'll take 2. Well, talk to the military base. So that was like, this job and this job. Good job. And I think there was not you. Feel like there was one more? Maybe not. There was a steel mill job. Yeah. That's a drop off. No. And then those are drop offs. So there was these three combined with a couple of military base jobs, which was like $300,000. Maybe it was more than that, honestly, because this by itself is like what, over 100,000. But it was somewhere between like 3,000 to 4,000, 100,000. So the alternative is this, 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 and this. Which you can see base payout is not quite 200,000. Plus a $131,000 job to the military base and machine factory. All said and done, that's just about $500,000. Why would I not? Again, the other one was around 300,000. This is 500,000. I don't remember. I think I want to drop that one off first, followed by that one. And fortunately, I had a bit of weirdness because I apparently left the area because, that's the Windows menu. That area in spots does not extend as far as it could, apparently. So, yeah, I left the area, but I didn't. Things got confused, and so I had to reload the save in order to get shit back, because basically I loaded this up, and it despawned on me. You can see it's all the way back there as well. So, as a result, I have another DE6. There's actually another one that spawned back at the roundhouse since. I don't know why, but both of the DH4s that were there, which is what I was going to use, got replaced by a DE2 and a DE6, and then the DE6 got replaced by another DE6 that I don't honestly need. So yeah, I've got two DE6s now, and I've actually gone and stolen the amp limiter out of my DE2, so that this can just be sent, basically. Train, always applying the train brake. Lag there, so you should be good. I don't think I'll need the DH4, but this is like 2,400 kilos all said and done. The train's like 900 meters long. Like, you can see, it goes... Yeah, there it is. You can just about see center of the screen there. The train ends somewhere in the trees. So it goes away. Also, I set the handbrakes on a lot of vehicles because I noticed that things were rolling when they shouldn't be, so... Just have to go through and unset all the handbrakes, some of which probably weren't needed. You gonna start honking? Oh. Interesting. Let me just give that a little spin, because it always resets itself for some reason. See, we are rolling just a little bit. But you're cut in, everything should be good. And yeah, you should be set for like 900. I don't know why you're not. It was 910 maybe even. Yep, amp limiter is kicking in, that's fine. I'm going to go run down here. We'll just keep an eye on that, make sure that it doesn't go too fast. Yeah, 60 is just sitting here. It kind of got in the way because I needed to refuel. There you can see the other DE6 shown there with two S282s and a DE2. We are going to go over into here. And yeah, you can see all these jobs. Again, 90,000, 8,400, 8,400, 12,140. Not bad, but everything else already plus this. That is the wrong job. Yeah. 4 attack helicopters for 131,000. That one, then that one, and then that one. So I think... Just double check. That is set wrong. How much you want to bet I just derailed everything? Now we're good. Train's not that fast. And then you need to go right, and then we're leaving. Just double check that's a right, that's a left, that is a left. Thank you, game. That sends us here, right to City West, left up to Coal Power, which we will be stopping at, and then Machine Factory. As far as routing otherwise, City West, I don't actually know off the top of my head where we're going. Nice. Give it a bit more throttle. C3I. So this will be go past and back in. We'll be going to C3I. It's a right and then a left, straight back in. Excellent. Coal power, I don't know where we're going there. See, coal power. A2I. That's not too much of a pain in the ass. It's not, actually. Well, it is. It actually is. The problem is I have to go onto this track, but then this track doesn't have an easy way to transfer back. Of course, I could just bank on this not being a steam locomotive so that I can then just, like, park up here with the carriages at the end, and then, or something. Yeah, no, here, and then take this train, back it in, pull it forward, back it all the way in, leave that train here with those, and I'll just pay it off later. Most of the train isn't on the hill yet, but 2 DE6s plus a slug is pretty much... You're good for like 3,000 tons, I think, is what I've heard. But again, if that's not... Much do you weigh? 720 tons. How big is the train with just the diesel? Kind of hard to see. Kind of really hard to see with all the damn trees and the terrain. Okay, right there. Yeah, that's a lot of length. The other thing I could theoretically do, which will burn a lot of time, but I could come past here. I'm going left regardless, I'm pretty sure. But come past here until the end of the train clears this switch. Then back it in such that the end of that train that's going here, the end of the consist going there, is past this switch. Cut it out. Pull forward a little bit. And then detach the DE6, loop it around, and push it into the siding. And then I can reverse back around, hook back up, reverse if needed, and continue on to Machine Factory. Yeah, that should be that way, but it doesn't really matter. Oh look, a button. Nice button. There is another option, I guess, but it gets me going backwards. I'm not too keen on that, and that would be to try and loop around through here and then back it in, but I don't like that idea. I think let's wait and see what this train is, and then I can decide whether or not I want to loop through and use that train temporarily, or if I want to do the pass by back in Able. And then, you know, bring the DE6 around to push it in. It's going to take a while, admittedly, but fortunately this should go by pretty quick. Worst comes to worst, I can just abandon ship on the on this job and just focus on getting this delivered, because that's the big money maker. Nice, Dingle. Yeah, I've got the keys for the caboose. I just haven't gotten them yet. Also, I took the markers down. So I'm just gonna go and... Huh. We're fine. Why am I doing that? Just stick them down there. I mean, it's the same paint job that I would have Evil, so... It's really no different. I mean, it is different. It's blue instead of red. And all the way back there is the stuff that's getting dropped off. That cool power. Oh boy. Ah, well, Dingle went DVRT, so it's the normal red. You can have it in red or you can have it in blue. Those are your options without modding. Are we still running hot? Nah, we're good. Oh, you say? I think I just casually going back here. How fast are we going? Yeah. Please close. There we go. I do have to watch the speed here because, you know, part of the train is definitely in a 40. Full power is going to be an interesting one. If I had the DM3 restored, I could just summon that like this, right? But I don't think the DM1U is really going to handle 700 tons. But unfortunately, D6, D2, DH4, I'm all kind of using at the moment. You know, they're all here. So I can't summon any of them. And since they're all kind of here at the front, I'd have to use the DE6. That will go off in like 2 minutes or something silly like that. Maybe not actually, but it'll be a minute. Also, to be fair, Evil, I don't actually have the caboose yet, like I said. Keys are there. Just haven't gotten it yet. To be fair, there's only once that I've gone down to Sawmill, but it wasn't on stream. Or was it on stream? I don't think I had the keys at that time, so... Oh well. We'll get down there eventually. And yeah, I think I'll save some money and not paint the caboose in the demo colors, because, like... It's a caboose. Why would it not be red? I mean, you don't have to have a red caboose, but also, it's a caboose. And also, the paint costs $30,000. I would assume $30,000 instead of $60,000. Well, I guess you could do $45,000 depending on how the interior color looks. I don't know. We'll get there eventually. It to rain in a weird way. Hey! I told you it would take a minute. And just as we're hitting above 40, the entirety of the train, which I can't even get on screen without going into the free cam mode, is through the switch. What do you call Batman after a fight? Bruised Wayne. Yep, there you go, Evil. Your preemptive fuck you, Eason, was very much deserved. Yeah, I was really worried about this contest because, again, it is over 200 tons. 1,000 tons? 2,000 tons. I was worried about it, because that's a lot of weight, and I only had one DE6 plus the slug. Even with an additional 3 DH4s, like, that's... Should be able to do it, but it's still... I'd rather have a DE6. Thanks, game. I have another DE6 now. Of course, I don't own it. Which is a bit of a shame. Here, I'll start that again, because that's the 80. Can I go all the way off with the throttle and just coast for a while at the speed? I would hope so. I'm good at 60 for quite a while. Like, we're here. I can go all the way to here without having to slow down, I think. And if I do have to slow down, it's down to 50. So, we're good for a while. Also, because I have two DE6s and the slug, the dynamic braking on this should be pretty damn good. There was like a castle or something in the distance, but I think it was over that way. This hill is now in the way. Oh well. It's nice having DE6s. It's what I wanted for quite a while. It took a while to get here, but we're here. Of course, in my opinion, I know I keep going third person, but it looks a little silly with the lights the way they are, especially since the bar at the front there is occluding them. The game doesn't care about that, but visually, that bar would very much be in the way. Fortunately, you know, I can just do that and... yeah, it's so damn bright that you can see how bright they are in the daytime. Yeah. No real need for anything else. I don't like the look of them, but damn if they're not good. Alright, here we go. I always forget that that's a 50. Always forget that that's a 50. We're good. If something was wrong, that would be complaining. And it's not complaining, so we're good. I always forget, because like that section, the lowest speed is 60. These curves through here I know are 60, so I always forget that that junction is 50. And now I didn't start the thing, so we're just... I'll just stick to 50. Get a bit of throttle on just because we are losing speed with the curve. I'm doing alright. Just avoided derailing, so that's good. What are you saying, Evil? Game cares about light on the buffer pistons? Huh. Yeah, that is actually an interesting idea. That's, those things. Anyone unaware? I mean, it's part of the train, right? Isn't that the point of the game? I mean, it is in the title, yes. I have derailed once. I have derailed once, so I have been doing that much at least. Slope. It was the hand cart going up to get the slug. So, you know, it wasn't that significant of a derailment, but I have derailed. Okay. I think I can back off the dynamic brake just a tad bit. It's like you. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, that is the only time I've derailed, though. I've come close a couple of times, but not quite. I'm fairly good about it. See, I like not having to pay extra money towards unnecessary things, so that's my incentive. I know it doesn't necessarily make for a good show at times, but neat. Yeah, it does help explain the name. Very cool. I just do it in a video game. I'm gonna have to start slowing down more here soon, because we are just about to that junction. One of your choosing. Well, you're still using it, so obviously I'm gonna guess you didn't hate it. Good. Dynamic brakes are enough to hold this train back despite the hill behind us. Saving my derailings for when I do steam and it gets fun. Ha! Sure. Sure, yeah, because I'm gonna do a lot of steam. Yeah, so it's been a while then. Well, nice of you to swing by and hang out for a little bit at least. Right turn is definitely slowing us down even more, to the point where I will need to put the dynamic brake on a bit more. We're good for the moment. You good back there? I hear it still doing something. And it's a long consist, so there is a lot of air to move. Oh, I'm sure it is. And that's why I'm doing it in a video game. Appreciate people who actually do this sort of stuff IRL, but yeah, I don't quite think it's for me. I'll do it in a video game where the consequences are reload a save or just roll with it, because it's all fake in the end. Yeah, there's a switch coming up. Yep, got the slug because, I mean, it's not necessarily the most beneficial thing in this game, but it does help. I think it'd be more useful in the rain. Okay, well, we're not going that fast because there's the 30 coming up anyway. Honestly, the main reason why I'm even using it is because I've heard that having the two DE6s with the slug, it's more weight and it's more length, but it reduces the amount of care you have to give, especially in the rain, which I like. It's also why I got the other DE6, that one back there. It's got an amp limiter because, you know, you don't want to be going past 12 really on the traction motors, but stock engines won't do that. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense even. Yard versus road. You obviously don't need to go, and usually don't want to go that fast through a yard. At least in real life. Can you tell I wasn't holding my mouse for a while there? Alright, I could use this, because again, this is set right. It's 900 meters, but because of that, I don't really have a need to. Got the remote. So we are literally just going to, Hi! Yeah, obviously you would never do this IRL. At least, not if you want to keep your job. Ideally. Shouldn't, but this is a video game. And also, yeah, trying to coordinate this with just myself. Again, it's doable. I've got the tracker. I know how long the consist is. Although I'm going to have to reduce it by 200 meters or so. Stick to 200, just always have a little bit of a buffer on the end, you know? And then somewhere on the other side of this train, not this side, but the switch is over here, I've got a flag. I don't have one right here because it's very obvious where the split between the two jobs is. But back over there somewhere, I don't know. They all look the same. I don't know which one's which. You know, between this and this. I mean, I might be able to find it, but if the two green cars are back to back, forget about it. Yeah, supposedly. I mean, they're generic. Are they Apaches? They're probably modeled off of them. Oh, maybe that's the split. Or maybe not. Let's see. There's, you know, it's a video game. Yeah, there's the flag. But again, it's not that, it's that. So they're generic things, you know, there's a military base and a couple of remote bases as well. And that's what I'm doing. I'm delivering them from one remote base to another. Because turns out the military gives some of, if not the best paying jobs in the game. Who would have guessed, right? So just casually hauling them with a bunch of other tools and fuel, oil, gasoline, diesel, whatever it is, you know, no big deal. Supposedly there are other people in this world. Because things do happen. Wait. We stop? Other things happen, but you don't really see it happening, so... I don't know. It is on the roadmap for this game to eventually add AI traffic. And for that, obviously, they'd need dual tracks. Very much single track at this point. But long-term goals, you know? Ah, I gotcha. Neat. I mean, I'm not overly familiar with that sort of stuff, but I'm in the Northeast, so I definitely recognize the names. I don't get any more specific than that, though. So we are... That is the wrong thing, as is that. We are going to C3I. Yeah, that's also on the roadmap. More American-based stuff. Probably a couple of years off, if I had to guess, although I don't remember what the roadmap exactly looks like. I think we're on the right track. But I'm happy to wait. This is even as it is, this is a good game, and the devs clearly care about what they're doing. I look forward to the eventual expansions, everything that they're doing with it. Might be a while, but that's fine. Can't even see the flag from here. Technically, the yard... Well, this track technically starts up here somewhere. Yeah, right there. That little seam is where it starts. But it's always good to give a little bit of space just so that you're not risking a collision between two tracks. Not that I care. I'm going to be zipping out of here fairly quickly, so... It's more just better practice. There's the flag. Radio-controlled operator. Yep. Yeah, it's definitely one of the best purchases you can make in this game, getting the remote. Or RCO, as you referred to it. Handbrake on. Connect everything, pick up my flag. And then let me just see real quick, as well as going over here to drop off the job. How fast do we do that? 30 minutes? Easy. Yeah, just almost 62,000. Anything worthwhile here? We don't care about that. I mean, there's a logistical haul, but for 7,000? Meh. Go up the hill, and I'm gonna go run to my train. let's see, 710. There we go. Can't crouch with the controller as it will go into emergency shutdown. Really? Cool. It's good, obviously, that like they have those sorts of well, maybe not good for the person using it if they got to be on their feet all the time, but like it's good to know that they've got those sort of safety features built in. Especially because like if somebody, I don't know, just random thing, just like it's a hot day, you've been in the yard for however long you're allowed to be, towards the end of a stint or whatever, but you know, heat stroke or something is starting to set in, somebody falls over. Yeah, you definitely want some sort of emergency measure to make sure that the remote shuts down, cuts out, whatever. Not that you want that situation to play out, but better to be prepared than not. I don't know why I still have it out. It can go away. But yeah, there's a number of toys. There's the proximity readers as well, which you put this on the front of the back and that'll give you a readout of how close things are. Let's put this flag down real quick if I can get it to store. There we go. I am tilted. Anti-wheel slip, which just deploys sand automatically. Overheating because don't run too hot. Amp limiter that I mentioned before. You've got a control stand so you can do long hood forward in this, or you know, whatever. It doesn't work in the rain apparently, so don't put it outside if you want to have it always working. Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, again, this remote is so useful to have just in this game, so I can imagine in real life. What else? There's a whole bunch of stuff. But the clinometer is a bit weird. I mean, you see how I have it mounted, and yet it's still figuring it out. Don't question how things work too hard, but yeah, switch setter. I've got different light controls because red light at night, right? Instead of white lights, which are also a thing. But, you know, that defect detector will detect if anything is wrong. Brakes not cut in, train's derailed, something's not coupled properly. Yeah, I mean, I've gone overboard with this train, basically thrown everything at it, because why not? You know, like the digital speedometer, brake readout, the little clock as well. I've gone over the top. Signal booster back there. But at the same time, like, the things are there, I've got the money in the game to use them, right? So, why not? I'm actually sitting on a decent amount, especially after that unload. 723, where we're 600 something to start. The economy in this game is massively just... don't even think about the cost of things too much. 600,000 is actually, or 700,000 is not that much, relatively speaking. You know, I should probably put more throttle in it, considering we're going uphill and we're just slowing down for no reason. Was the duct tape 400? I didn't remember the exact cost, but yeah. To be fair, the duct tape used to be infinite, but yeah, now it has 12 uses. Oh, and each one of these devices, every single one of them, except for the clinometer, requires one full roll of solder. Locomotive would cost you 427,000. Yeah, to restore it, it was like, I mean, realistically, it'd be closer to 300,000, but about 250,000 to do things. Again, the cost of things is ridiculous. Like, just the paint job alone on the outside was 30,000 monies. These things were all ridiculous amounts. Like I said, you just don't think about the cost of things too much in this game because it's all kind of ridiculous. Does the locomotive have an accelerometer? No. No, I do not believe there is such a thing. Yeah, I can get no fog looking like this, but unfortunately, that doesn't help. So what's over here? An 060. Okay. Not quite what I wanted. Let's see. Oh yeah, there's just this here. Don't think about it too hard. But we're gonna do the back it in and then circle around. There's that spot to cut. Accelerometer measures the output of traction effort. Yeah, I don't think there's any actual display of tractive effort. I mean, you get the, yeah, you have a wheel slip light. Thank you, Oscar. You have a wheel slip light, you do have an ammeter or oil temperature in the case of the diesel hydraulic, opposed to like the diesel electrics, like I'm using the big DE6. But no direct measurement. The anti-wheel, or the wheel slip rather, the wheel slip indicator is the closest thing to any sort of indication of tractive effort, and that's obviously just, is the wheel slipping or not? And yeah, this remote's only good for like 600 meters at the absolute most, which the train is longer than that. It's looped around, but that signal booster is so good. Not the recent update. What was added? What, you can repaint the slug, the caboose, the little BE2 micro shunter, and the DM1U, the utility train. There's a couple more things like the proximity detector, the defect detector. Heard stuff for steam engine. I think they added a shovel holder, but I don't think there was anything really beyond that for steam. I think steam engines were tweaked a little bit, how they work, but Steam is one of those things that, like, I'll tinker with it at some point later on, but right now I just want to earn money and, you know, use the diesels. There they are! The diesel trains are all over there at the front of the consist, and I'm back here at the back. Yeah, the slug is repaintable, and you can also paint it in the demo colors, which is really nice. I just haven't gotten to City West yet since the update release, because I keep doing this damn run between Harbor and Machine Factory, because that's where all the damn money is, apparently. Yeah, we're good. I could go a little bit faster, but I don't think I want to go... I don't remember if there's a 20 or a 30 limit around here. I mean, that's a 20 down that way. Apparently I went on that track last time. Full power is just such an obnoxious place to deal with, honestly. But I mean, 48,000 plus time bonus? Oh yeah, there's the shadow of the remote. The player character is a ghost. Yeah, fuck around and find out, rather. It's 20. Those wires just go into the ground, fun fact. Like, I'm not kidding either. They're just, yep. Don't think about it too hard. Game's not finished, it's fine. And even if it is, you don't go over there, so who cares? Yeah, there were a few things. That universal control... There's the train again. The universal control stand that I showed, that was new with this update. How else do you get underground cables? I mean, you're not wrong, Evil, but consider the area. Sub and substation is short for subterranean. Yes, thank you. Not saying it couldn't be, just that's not a very graceful subterranean termination, at the very least. Just to make sure. Yeah, okay. So we are just looking. Well, in fact, there you go. 3 green cars. Get a little bit of braking into it right now, just to get it to slow down. I could honestly use this SO60, but I'm not familiar with the steam engine. I ain't touching it. If that was like a DE6, then we would be talking, but nope, it's not. Put the handbrake on here. Roll forward. Well, good for you, Evil. Alright, time to do this silly idea of mine. By the way, where is it? Yeah, this covering right here, this spot is where this train originated from. Which was frustrating because it took me a while to even figure that out. Fuel cutoff. Set the handbrake. Disconnect you. Yeah, things are shifting a little bit. And there's the bot. What a surprise. Well, it is time for a break. And considering I don't know whether or not they fixed that bug, I think they did, but I don't know if they did fix it where you pause while you're moving and your train can do funky things. I think as long as you pause once, it's fine, but I don't remember exactly. So I'm just going to take my break here. Top of every hour, thereabouts, I take a roughly 5-minute break just to step away from the stream for a few minutes, get up, stretch, do whatever. And during this time, I do end up running ads. It's the only time during the stream that I run ads. There's the AFK scene. Prevents pre-rolls for next hour for anybody coming in and ensures that the gameplay itself is completely ad-free at the small cost of the small cost of ads while there's literally nothing important happening on stream. Evil, yes, I know. You can't do that. Look, you don't have to get up if you don't want to or can't. You can roll around or you can just stay put. Do as you wish. Anyway, when I get back, we will continue with this job. Just bring the D6 around, push that job into the siding, and then swing back around and pick up and go up the hill. Got more than just concrete. Well, obviously, it's got the redostatic? Yeah, something like that. The dynamic brakes, the coolers for that. And the fans, and the traction motors. But I wouldn't be surprised, if there's more than that in there. But yeah, it's not purely concrete slabs, because otherwise you'd literally just be hauling around a large thing of concrete, which is kind of silly. Extra weight with no benefit. No, that's not how it works, though. Traction motor, coolant jetting. Yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense. So yeah, I'm just going to take a few minutes, like I said, step away, and when I get back, we'll continue. Apologies if anybody doesn't like ads, but this is the way I run the stream, and I absolutely got to keep them cool. And boy, do they tend to stay cool in this game, at least. Yeah. BRB. Alrighty, I am back, and let's just jump right back into it. I tend to do 70. I did have it set to 90 because it helps with the flickering in the station houses. Yeah, that's cool, Slug. I don't really have any questions myself, but that's cool. Of course, yeah, horseshoe curve. Definitely know about that. I think I said it before, but I'm somewhere in the northeast U.S. I don't get more specific than that. But yeah, certainly that curve in Harrisburg. I'm aware of those places. But just to recap what we're doing here, delivering a bunch of jobs. Did one City West. Now doing one here at Coal Power, but because of the awkwardness of maneuvering, looping around to push the load in. Alright, we don't need to go any faster than that. The lone DE6 goes quite fast. There's the last job. And, yeah. How many pins does an MU cable have? Here, let me just go count them. I don't have a clue. Be very few or tons. Because obviously, you want a common ground, and there's got to be at least one pin for data. So at least two. Damn if I know. Though it would be interesting to find out if this game has actually modeled it correctly. Looks like 5 times 2. 32 pins. Yeah, okay, so the game's not even close. But to be fair, it's a European locomotive, not an American one, but that doesn't mean that it should be different. I don't know these things, so don't ask me. To be fair, it's a video game though, so who cares if it's perfectly accurate, because it's not a real train in the first place. Loosely based off of one, but yeah, 32 pins, huh? That makes sense. That does make sense. If each pin is responsible for a different thing. A 24 pin and 2 8 pins. Sure, evil. I'm just gonna stand up for a moment, but right about now I should just about be able to, I don't know why you said 2, because it's not 2. It'll only be 1. Never played Run 8. Can't say I have, no. Also, slam on the brakes. That was on the harder side, but an acceptable amount. Now I have to run all the way to this side. Yep, there's the back end of the train, and yeah, we're just going over there. Unfortunately, the DE6 doesn't work with remote. So, have no choice but to operate this from back here. Amp limiter doing its job. Yeah, that's exactly, that's what the buffer piston's for. I think you're safe up to like 5, but yeah. Don't push your luck. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say that, like, railroad sims of any degree, of any sort, whether it's like a yard simulator or like this or something else like that, I'm not going to say that they've never interested me, just not enough to generally pique my interest. Also, I do hope we're fine here. Yeah, we've got plenty of siding length. Especially considering here's the switch. Yeah, I don't think I will. It's probably more than I want to deal with. Like, I'm playing this, you know, I can third-person camera it, and at any time I can just alt, and yep, there we go. Full control over the locomotive, which technically means I might... No, I can't access it out there, but... Yeah, I probably won't touch it. But, we'll know. Is that you complaining because something wasn't right? I wouldn't be surprised. Alright, here's a stupid idea. I'm just gonna leave that there. Try to jump over my train and go hit up the station house, which is right here. 51 minutes. 72,000. Not bad at all. And then I'm gonna go run this way to catch my train that is uncrewed and I have no way of remote controlling it. Really realistic? Yeah, then I'm almost certainly not going to touch it. That's cool, but not quite my cup of tea. And yeah, as Evil has said, as my name indicates, racing games are my main interest, but I also enjoy other stuff like Pokemon. Yeah, I've got Rolling Line as well, and it's such a cool game, but I just can't get myself to get too into it either. Games are different from what players are. True, however. In this case, it's not entirely wrong. I would install some lights back here because, you know, like, I have the stock ones, which are very up close. But at the same time, I don't plan on driving this long hood forward much. This is a rare exception to the norm. But this does give me an excuse to use this, so that's nice. I do like this universal control stand, and it's got the mount for it. That was another thing they added as well. The battery charger is now a standalone thing. It's no longer, along with the signal booster, they're no longer in the caboose. So now you can put them wherever. So if I want to, you know, just throw that down there and completely screw up the settings on it, I can do that. Choo-choo. There's your choo-choo. Yeah, that might be why Dingle. Might have related to the fact that they changed how it is. I also like, this was another thing they added. They added better controller support to the point where, like, you can bind everything in the menu. I'm not going to do it because, again, there was a bug with moving and suddenly your train coming to a stop and destroying things. I don't want to deal with that, but better controller support, including support for one of the third-party controllers not too dissimilar to this, which is cool. First locomotive to run long hood forward was not a clue. I am nowhere near knowledgeable on trains to even have anything remotely close to an answer for that. Also, apparently I would have been fine even if it had looped around, though it would have blocked me from, you know, doing this. Can't really see, because long hood forward is tough like that. Okay, if I just slow down to slow enough, it won't be an issue. That was another thing, they lowered the summon cost of the BE2. It's now... only 1,000. It sounds worse than it is, it's fine. And then let's see. Stop moving about. So you're 400 tons, you're 500 tons, you're 72 tons. Yeah, I don't need you running anymore. How are you doing on fuel? Plenty. It synced up, so it wasn't one to do that anyway. Yep. All the brakes are looking good. Here, I'll just turn the lights all the way up. Can you see well enough out the front? Alco RS1. When you see a diesel, look for the small F to say what way the front was. Okay. Neat. Something that I never would have thought of and probably never would have come across either. Could use a couple more lumens. Oh, okay. Well, I think the lights are sold up here, so... Oh yeah, the motor is modeled back there. Fun fact. I'll just install a couple more of these to the front. You know, just, I got room down there. Are you still topping off? Again, I don't know what that curve speed is, but... nice. I won't go above 35. 35 is probably safe. I could probably do 40, honestly, but 35 keeps it within the safe realm for 30. Just about. And yeah, sure enough. No need for anything more than just the one locomotive. So we are going to be going right and then left into C, into C4I, I believe. This is set for C3I, but I believe we're dropping somewhere. C4I. Oops. Can I get back up there, please? Oh, I wasn't able to read that. Please come back. You. Yeah, we're going plenty slow enough. FH25. FH67. Okay, so I've got him back. So we are going to C3I. So it was right originally. I cannot warp straight up to there. That's fine. I fell off the bridge again. There we go. Yeah, no, I absolutely, and that's exactly why you keep hearing this thing beep. Amp limiter. Got it set to 12 so that it can't go into the red. Oh, I do not have to worry about it. I want to go full throttle from the off. I can. Doesn't mean I should, but I could. Sounds like an Alco. I mean, again, I don't really know much about like specifically this sort of train or such. That another one I see all the way down there? Yep, that's a DE6 in the shed. Roundhouse. I didn't take out the length for the other one. Oh well. We're to the point where that just doesn't really matter, honestly. Yep. C3I and C4I are open, and we're heading for C3I. Left, and then the right, and that's a switch setter that's constantly making noise over there. Just the one I need to be mindful of? Nope. Just an attack helicopter. Don't worry about it. You know, just no big deal. Why do I have the brakes set? How long has that been a thing? I did set the data cable. Well, I'll get braking effort regardless, so it doesn't matter. Again, I don't have to be behind the sign, but, like, not bad. I'm doing alright. Could be worse, certainly. How about you? Where... I have it on the other side? Yep, I had it on the other side, that's why. I was gonna say, where is the bloody connector? Or flag, rather. Because 25, 67. Give me that. Oh yeah, I'm familiar with the Union Pacific big boy, yep. Finalco. Neat. 63, I don't... Oh, we got plenty of time. There's another 83,000. Diesels are what power NASA's crawler transporters. Makes sense. Let's see, I gotta be pulling forward too. By the way, I probably would just run myself over there. Which is fantastic. That's plenty fast. There's the military base. Be going there in a minute. Yeah, Dingle. Let's not get into it. Yeah, just back this in, and then we'll go out, and then swing back around into the military base. Where's the exact cutoff point here? Right there. Again, the designation for the track, for the siding, is where the track actually ends and meets up with the next segment. In this case, the switch here, the junction. So at this point, the train is in the siding, even though it was still in front of the sign at that point. It's, you know, you don't want to park it right up against the junction, but you technically can. And that should be in the siding. I didn't do that. Yeah, I know. Shut up. Yeah, I don't know what the hell was going on back there, but, forward. I got plenty of fuel, but, like, there's no sense in continuing to run this just to go there. Although, obviously, this would be a bit faster than the DH4 is. Brakes are released. And of course, I got the DH4 equipped similarly to this. Similar amount of gadgetry, including the red lighting overhead. I haven't updated this fully, so this is still B99.3 levels of upgraded. That's enough. Actually, the DE2 back here is even better. You can see where the amp limiter is missing, but it's got the proximity detector, which the DH4 does not have. I don't think I really have much else here, though. Yeah. To be fair, DE2 is a yard shunter through and through. Get this past this switch, and then I'll go through and back up into the military yard. And yeah, the last time I was here, that's where I went, was that loop. Of course, I've got all that hardware in the trains. Oh, right. Got all that hardware in the trains, and then I just keep jumping out, never using half of it. Oh well. Yeah, this is set up to go in, so I'm gonna go drop off that other job while keeping an eye on the speed. Yep, there's that offload job. There it is. 69 minutes. Nice. 79.6. And, yeah, just throw that up there. I mean, there's not a ton here that's good. Period. Didn't get any trims this time, and only 3 carriages of new cars. Those are pickups, but eh. I mean, that job is almost worth it, but it's 3 drop-offs. Never mind, not worth it. Yeah, I mean, we're probably going back to Harbor in Town. So, it's not bad. 2 of them are being dropped off at neighboring lines, but this one's got to go to the G yard, whereas those are both E. Mildly annoying. The big thing is going back into here, which where are we even going? I don't know. 9. E3I. Are we going that way? No. Full brakes. And that's what happens when you don't pay attention. Doesn't look like there's anything good here either. Give me a break, game. It's a matter of 4 feet in it, but still technically bigger. Neat. Switch that way, and then we back up. I always found that initial setting off rather, the DH4, just throw 3 power into it. It's fine. You won't wheel spin at 3 on setting off. And we are going 3I. Yes. Let it coast a little bit longer. Pennsylvania Railroad was the world's largest railway. That I can honestly believe. Yeah, I wouldn't question that. That sounds like it would be real. Because, yeah, they do have a fair amount of track, don't they? I'm not going to bother to unhook it. Just on the off chance it's worth taking care of. And final tally, 197,000 from that, but is there an unload worth doing? I mean, an extra 30,000 for 1 drop-off? Sure, why not? Something more to do. I don't need it, clearly. I hear it. I hear it. I had decided to hand in the job. Just under 10,000 horsepower. Damn. That's a fair amount. Very interesting. Fact check it all you want. I'm good. I'll take your word for it. After all, with what you said before, I don't doubt that you know a lot about this sort of stuff. Oops. I'm probably going to want to go back to the roundhouse to repair before doing anything else, but I didn't look at it, but I get the feeling that that is, if it's going to harbor, it's not going to return much. And I do still want to go to Harbor simply because I need to pick up the S060 and maybe even the S282. But then again, maybe if that's going to mill base, I just take it to mill base. I still haven't been to the military base. You know what I forgot to do? Our damn job. Alright, Monoslug, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you hanging out, and I appreciate all the info. It's always cool when people show up and, you know, can actually go on and talk about something that, you know, I would otherwise have very little knowledge of. But yeah, you have a good one. Again, thanks for hanging out, thanks for watching, and thanks for all the information. Bright light. Oh yeah, just a generic tank. Generic helicopters, generic tank, you know how it is. Yeah, no offense, man, of course, but I figured you were up there. But yeah, it's still awesome to hear about that sort of stuff. Don't forget to flip that one as well. That almost screwed me earlier. Yeah, you gotta be careful. You have a good one as well. Gotta be careful. All because I was getting too distracted looking at the jobs. Almost sent it into the wrong bloody siding. Of course, it couldn't have been the storage track that's completely empty. Would have given me room all the way up until the buffer stop there. Nope. It's gotta be the one that actually has cargo on it. But it's fine. That's what the remote's for. And that's why I was a bit more attentive when the DE6, my DE6, was on its own. Because DE6 ain't got no remote support. I do have a mod for that. It might need updating after 99.4, but I do have a mod for that. It's not enabled. I had one installed. Alright, now you stop. And I'll be wanting to go this way. Okay, can we turn off the suns for a little while? Not you. No rush on this because, you know, it's a 22-minute job, but that was less than 5 minutes even before I started it. Another 44,000. And look at that. 100,000? That's an awkward way to say that. $1.2 million. Not bad. That's still military base, but this is ammunition to the... Ammunition? This isn't GTA. Ammunition to the harbor. Yeah, 1,200,000. It's a way to say it. Okay, so based on everything, like, I mentioned going to the military base anyway. There could be a worthwhile job there. But I'm only guaranteed 10,000 plus time bonus, so a little under 15,000 by doing this. Yeah, double click and zoom in, that's good. Or I go and make sure that the trains aren't going to roll anywhere on this pretty damn flat surface. I can do the run back. And yeah, that's not as much money as I just made. But I mean, how much would that be? Let's get the good old calculator out, and by that I mean my phone, because I'm not pulling my graphing calculator out. I don't have the extra batteries for it at the moment. Because I don't need those batteries going bad inside of it. That would not be great. With the time bonus, that's 132,000. Yeah, that's not a lot of money. But it is something. What do I do here? What do I do here? I'm not sure. Because honestly, like, part of me doesn't even want to do this run right now. Just, I've done it so much. Technically, what I could do... 16,000, that's not terrible. Technically, what I could do is something silly. Does that take the entire consist, though? That I do not know. You should be disconnected, right? Yes. I could just teleport. And hope that there's nothing worthwhile that I'd actually want to do from there, and then just go to City West. It is technically an option. Train stop that I just don't care to use, because don't make me be that attentive. Just load up on this. Not going to at the moment, but I could. Oh, what do I want to do here? Because, like, so here's the thing, right? I probably just about have enough time in the stream to be able to do this. Or at least get them to the harbor. Unloading, probably not. But getting them down there, yeah, should easily be doable. Maybe a little bit of unloading, though it depends on if there's anything in City West worth picking up. But, again, I've done this run so bloody much over the past couple of months. Machine factory to harbor and town, harbor and town to machine factory to harbor and town. Just time and time and time again. Kind of getting tired of it. And I don't have a ton of money, because, like, yeah, there's 1,200, but just remember, 400,000, basically 300,000, 50,000. You know, so long, 750,000 right there. Yeah, okay, that still is me, 450,000. But I have to restore the DM3, the S060, and the S282. And that includes getting all their parts and the paint and all that. So I still need more money, but, like, I don't know. Just not really feeling this job right now. And I don't really have anywhere else to go. It's like, okay, there's something to goods factory in town. That'll be worth a bit more once it's loaded. It's a slight pain in the ass, because they might be mixed. This is 6 cars, 3 pickups from 2 different yards. Massive pain in the ass. And then these are the 2 drop-offs that I haven't done. Logistical haul to Oil Well North. Over by Goods Factory, which is that. But like... And again, there's a not quite $10,000 job to the military base. None of them are that exciting. So do I just bite the bullet and teleport back to harbor so I can do other things instead? I could. Am I missing out on money that way? Yeah. But at least it gives me something different to do. Because again, this was a little over 100,000, like 130,000 was it, roughly? Which ain't bad. But it's just the same damn thing. Just in reverse. Of course, the other option, the third option, if you will, is just say, you know, like that was a productive haul, up to 1.2 mil. Let's just call it here for the night. It's early, but again, a good haul. Got something out of it. Just wrap it up here and until next week. I would probably do this off stream, like this exact job, just so I don't have to repeat it on stream. Because, like, if I'm getting tired of it, I can't imagine that some of you guys aren't getting tired of it as well. Because, like, oh, Arpo's live for Derail Valley. I wonder what jobs he'll haul to Machine Factory this week. You know? To be fair, tonight was a bit different because I had both DE6s. I had 2 DE6s, rather. Not both. I had 2 DE6s, and I had, you know, over 2,000 tons worth of consist behind me. Multiple drops, including a kind of annoying drop at Coal Power, because, I mean, it's Coal Power, of course it's annoying. The tracks, they literally, just to point this out, there is no reason why there can't be a connection between these 2 tracks. But there isn't. You make a connection there, it makes it so much better. It's that one small change, one switch, makes it so much better. Maybe in the future. Probably not, though. Well, who knows? There's going to be a lot of retracking needed if they're going to add AI stuff. Because, like, the main lines are going to have to be double tracked for at least some sections. I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards the just wrap it up early, honestly. Because again, productive stream. It's not as though nothing was accomplished. Started with somewhere north of 600,000. And end the night with basically twice as much money. And then next week, I don't know, maybe we start off in Harbor. Or maybe I just wait until next week to do this. Who knows? You know, like, I don't know, maybe. Gotta go back to Harbor, I don't know. But yeah, I'm leaning towards the just wrap it up. Because that at least gives me a reason to do something and just stop wasting time sitting here trying to decide, right? And I don't think ending early would be the worst thing, considering, again, productive. I'm just going in circles here, so screw it. Let's do it. Sorry to end a little on the early side, and by a little I mean an hour early, but, like, you can understand, right? Yeah, that was productive. It was very productive. With the unload included, it's a little under $600,000. 560,000 or so, I want to say it was. It was a fair amount. Basically double the amount of money I have. And it sets us up well to, well, either restore the remaining demonstrators, which, again, one of them is in City West already, and the other two are at Harbor. One hasn't been re-railed yet, but the other one is there on the rails, so I know where the last three are, and with this budget, I could restore them all. Bonus thing, excuse me for a second. Bonus thing is that I've already picked up the drivetrain or whatever was needed for the DM3. So I only need to make one more run up to Machine Factory to get the parts for the steam engines. So if I didn't buy any more licenses besides the S282 license, because I need that obviously to get moving with that, I could easily afford to restore the 3 remaining trains, which was the goal for this playthrough, if you want to call it that. Now, I wouldn't be done. I do want to make a trip up to military base. I am going to get the other 2 licenses. And I'll mess around a little bit with the steam engines. I don't know how much. I might try hauling 1 short load. We'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if I end up blowing one of the steam engines up, though, because, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. So there's not too much longer that I will probably be playing Derail for. Plus, hopefully, sooner than not, Satisfactory 1.1 comes to the main branch. I'll need to wait for the critical mods to be updated before I can resume playing it, but I will want to resume playing it once 1.1 comes to the main branch instead of just being on experimental. So there's also that to think about in the future. I'll definitely play Derail more over time, but my main objective with this save is nearing, so might take a bit of a break from it sooner than not, but we still got a little bit to go. But yeah, if I don't get the Mill 3 Hazmat 3 licenses, I can finish those trains, like, maybe not next week, but within the next couple of weeks. I should probably consider buying all the paint while I'm in Machine I mean, I could wait until I go to fetch the parts, because I'm going to have to do that. I don't know. We'll see. What I'll probably end up doing for getting the parts is go back to Harbor with the DM1U and the utility cart, pick up jobs that are going to Machine Factory, because there's always something going up there. Go up there, drop them off, get the parts, and then come back, possibly with jobs to Harbor again, because again, Machine Factory to Harbor is like one of the main trade routes in the game, and one of the most profitable as well. Yeah, that's Derail. That's the idea going forward, and you know what to expect, and what will probably happen, and things like that. As for this week, good, that is the correct date. Wednesday, I'm probably going to start on that Emerald Catch-em-all that I said I would do at some point last year. I didn't say I would do it last year, I just said last year that I would do it. Word order makes such a difference. So yeah, I'll probably start that this next week. As a reminder, that's to catch all 386 Pokemon in Emerald, not just the 200 that are not actually catchable, but like I'm not doing a Professor Oak challenge of it. It's a Nintendo cover your ears the modified version that has all 386 randomizer, that sort of thing. So yeah, that's going to take a few weeks, but we'll start that probably Wednesday night. And then I guess I will mention as well, I know I said this a couple of weeks ago, but this Friday I will most likely be starting half an hour earlier than that. Shut up, bot. Because this Friday is EJLMS round 3. Yeah, round 3. 1 hour of Imola. Yes, it got pushed off this far. It's been busy because, pushing things off, and then Easter weekend popped up, and then just, yeah. It does mean that the EJLMS schedule has gotten a bit messed up. Things have gotten pushed around a fair amount, but the next round is supposed to be this Friday. For real this time. We'll see if it actually happens, but we can't really push it back much further without actually genuinely screwing with other races, because we got French Countryside coming up not too long in the future. That's typically June. And that's a big one. That's 154 minutes, basically 2.5 hours. So, yeah, I'm not looking forward to Imola all that much, but see how it goes. So that's Friday, GTA Saturday, you know the drill on that. Yeah, that's the week as far as my streams go. Hope to see you guys there, but if not, fair enough. Anyway, I'm gonna stop running my mouth. Want to watch some ads and you're not a subscriber? Stick around. If you don't, either subscribe or GTFO. Because I run the ads regardless, and you don't have to watch them if you don't want to. Simple as that, right? Like, you're not going to miss anything if you leave early. So, do as you wish. Anyway, that's going to do it for me tonight. Thank you everyone for watching, and hopefully, I'll see you next time. Later.